Hey guys, it's RG Michaels, and I wanted to come today with a quick video. I know it's been forever since I've posted things, and I'm hopefully going to be doing a lot more in the next coming days and months and years. But I wanted to come to you guys today and show you what I've been working on and why I've been so quiet on this channel. One of the things that I've been doing as a self-published author and kind of a self-taught author is trying to design a system and design a program for myself to be able to follow so that I can become a better writer. One of the most important things that you can do as a knowledge worker, as a manager, or as a writer, any of these kind of things, is sharpen your saw. I think Stephen Covey talks about that in the 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. Spending time, judiciously on your habits, on your knowledge base, on your execution, on the things or the things you go to as far as references and what like that. And I took a long time to kind of decide how I was going to go about actually learning how to write and how to get better at writing. Because I've got a series published already. I've published a bunch of nonfiction books myself, but I've always wanted to be better, so I'm actually writing good books. It's not enough to just write. I mean, right now we have AI machines that can write novels, but they're trash. We want to make sure as writers that we're putting our best foot forward, and part of that is education, especially self-education or autodidacticism, if you want to get real fancy about the term. And so what I've been up to in the last couple months, and actually it's almost been a year and a half since I started this process, if you really want to get down to it, is I've been starting a writing craft library that I've been going through, that I've been entering into my commonplace system or my Zettelkasten, depending on what terminology you use for that, to really kind of find the things that I agree with, find the things that I struggle with, find the things that I need to learn as a writer from people in the past who have written great books about this. We all kind of have like a few books that we've heard of or that we know. That when it comes to writing craft, that as writers we share. One of them for me was being introduced to the Elements of Style, a book I thought I couldn't believe I was never told about in high school. It basically laid out the English language for me as far as fiction writing goes, in a way that English classes through high school never did. And this book has been around forever. And so now, anytime I go to a used bookstore or a thrift store and I see these things, they're always like $2. I buy them. And when I hear that someone is thinking about being a writer, they get a copy from me. I have multiple copies on hand at any given time for expressly that purpose, because it's one of those kind of foundational works that everyone should have. And so what I wanted to do was create a library of books that would teach me the things that I didn't get with my high school education, with my college education. So most of you probably wouldn't know that are watching this video, but I did not plan on being a writer when I was in high school and college. I did very poorly in high school, and I did okay in college, but I was aiming for a degree in religious studies and Christian ministry. I wanted to be a youth pastor, and that never panned out. I still work at a church. I work at a great church. I'm their facilities manager, but my heart and soul have always been, kind of angled towards storytelling and writing. And now that I want to own that, well, I needed an education that kind of matched those desires. And I wasn't about to go back to college. Now that I have a family and responsibilities and a job, it wouldn't work out to go to college. And, there were online options, there were correspondence options. But what I really wanted to do was craft a program for myself, craft a program where I could, show all my work, where I could do all the things necessary, or do all the tasks necessary that a writer would have to do if they were pursuing, let's say, an MFA. But to do that on my own terms for my own benefit, so that I could get the most out of it, kind of a handcrafted degree. And of course, it's not official, but I kind of like that angle. And so I've been affectionately referring to the project as the Lit Punk MFA, the literary punk Master of Fine Arts, and eventually it'll kind of come together in a course, I'm hoping, or maybe just a book to teach people how to do exactly what I've done here. But where it starts is this writing craft library that I wanted to put together, and I picked an entirely arbitrary number of 50. I wanted to read 50 writing craft books, or books related to writing and publishing, novels, nonfiction, everything. Just a wide kind of net cast on what writing looks like from from a reader's perspective, and I wanted to get those books, to read them, to put them through my commonplace book system, and to extract as much knowledge out of them as I could, wherever possible. Well, this is what it looks like. This leaning tower of books here is the beginnings of my lit punk MFA, and it was quite the undertaking. I started reading these books about a year and a half ago. I didn't have all of them. I think I purchased the last one, which was Stephen Pressfield's War of Art, which is kind of here. Sometime last year, I want to say like September or October, something like that, knowing I would eventually get to it. And there's everything in this book, in this pile of books. I'm hopefully going to be able to show you guys here around. There's everything from dictionaries of idioms to the elements of style, classics like Eat, Shoots, and Leaves, The War of Art, On Writing Well by William Zinsser. That book is quoted by more people in this stack of books than I could really tell. There's Christian-specific books, too. We'll get to those, like The Practical Guide for the Christian Writer right there, or Writing as a Way to Pray, Copy Editor's Handbook. There's everything. And like guides, too, like the Chicago Manual of Style, or other kind of style guides that are being used. And yeah, there's also a dictionary and a thesaurus. I wanted to actually be able to say I've read every page of a dictionary as part of my education, because knowledge of where words are, what they actually mean, is starting to become a dead thing in the age of Google. So this is the last chunk of reading over the last year and a half. And I've read other books alongside this, but yeah, I've tried to keep a healthy portion of my TBR as writing craft books. And you can see how it's leaning. This is the best part. You can see how it's leaning, where it's touching the top shelf. It's a good 4 inches away from the bookshelf on that side. The reason that is because, like I said, I've put this thing through the ringer as far as my commonplace system, and all the notes have been dog-eared in, and these will get transferred to note cards like Ryan Holiday does in his system, and these will become the foundation for my kind of knowledge base on writing craft. So it's going to take me a while to get that portion done, but the reading portion is finally done. That's the important part. And what I want to take this and make it into for myself is the knowledge base on how to write good books, and how to be a good novelist and a good author outright. But I want to document this process too, because now that this reading's done, I can do reviews on all these books. I can show you where I got the value out of these books. That is what I wanted this degree of mine to be. I wanted this Lit Punk MFA to be the degree for all the people who were in situations just like myself, where they found themselves starting their first novel as former engineers or cops or surgeons or garbage men, where they found this passion for writing and then finally found out that it actually isn't that hard, but they do need work on it. They need to learn these things, and there's dozens and probably even hundreds of great courses online that you can take to learn the skills of a novel writer or a fiction writer. The one that comes to mind immediately is Brandon Sanderson's class that he teaches through BYU, that he puts online for free. That kind of stuff is amazing. But this is going to be the start of a more focused, a more personal, and a more thorough education when it comes to novel writing, and kind of developing the lifestyle of a novelist, through this kind of stuff. Because this is sharpening the saw. This is making sure that my writing craft knowledge base matches my ambitions as a novelist and matches my ambitions as a writer. So I cast a real wide net, trying to get as much information as possible, and all that's going to go into my commonplace system, which is note cards like this, and also into a digital version of that, so I can search it, so I can reference it, so I can go back, and these books are going to live with me now. This is part of my library, where I can go back and and touch base with what I highlighted, and see if that stuff is still teaching me things, if that stuff is still applicable to me as a writer. So this is step one, and I was really excited to kind of share it with you guys, and not as like the brag of, hey, look at all the books I've read, that kind of stuff. But it is kind of impressive when you finally get to the end of something that you've been trying for so long. And a year and a half ago, I didn't know I was going to read this many books, but I'm really glad I did, and it's taught me a lot about writing that I can't wait to kind of pour into my upcoming novel series and nonfiction works. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys like it. I hope you get inspired to kind of sharpen your saw and check out some of these books. We're going to be doing reviews on all these ones so you can know which ones are good, which ones are bad, and I have like a short list of about 15 out of there that really do need to be on every writer's bookshelf. They were fantastic books that I had no idea about until I started actually digging into reading about writing craft. And so if you're an aspiring novelist, be sure to check those future videos out. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Have a good one.